let's talk a little bit about the game mechanics, your controls, and a couple of items. Right in front of me is spin metal leaves, and spin metal leaves are a collectible that you can get. They spawn randomly around the world. There are set locations, but they're random if they're gonna be there or not. And if you get 40 of them, you can go into the tower and trade them for glimmer, crucible marks, or items. I don't know. I never really explored much. I just did the strikes and the crucible. But if you get 40, you get to trade it in for something at the tower. And it's random. It will give you randomly one of the three things I mentioned. Technically don't know what the third thing is. It might be an item, it might be some other thing. I have no idea. Oh, Vanguard marks. Vanguard marks, crucible marks, and glimmer. That's what the three things that it will give you randomly. Now to bring up your ghost like this, you just have to press the touchpad on your PS4 controller. I don't know about the Xbox, but if you press that touchpad, like press it down, if you press it like it's a button, it will bring up your ghost and you can go to orbit or summon your vehicle from there. Now down here are high level enemies that I did not want to fight because obviously I'm gonna die. I'll talk more about the different types of health bars, shields, and all types of stuff later. But one topic I wanted to touch up on is that your guardian, the person you play as, can actually talk. It has a voice, and voices are gender specific and race specific. So there are technically 6 different voices you can choose from. I haven't heard all of them. I've just seen what I've made. Like, I made a male Awoken. I've made a female Exo, which is the robot guys, and I've made a male human. Other than that, probably have to look it up. I don't have footage of them talking either, just the main character that I have is the Warlock Awoken guy. And you can see when he talks.
Will it fly? What happened to it? What can I do?
He's got a little pretentious tone to him. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's royalty, like he's talking down on you, like he's conceited and he's full of himself. Now this is only for the Awoken male, but I'm pretty sure the female has that type of voice too, you know? You don't really have a frame of reference because you haven't heard the other voices, but I'm telling you, this is the perfect character for me. It is perfect. And it's my main character, my Warlock, my Awoken Warlock. Oh my god. Just perfect. Another thing is that Awoken is actually the least played class out of all race. Least played race out of all 3. The Exos, the humans, and the Awoken. The Awoken are the least played race. According to some poll that this guy did that had over like 5,000 responses and all that stuff. For classes, the Hunter was played the most, Warlock being a very close second, and Titan just being down there. Okay? The main reason why I think that is because during the beta, the Hunter had a slight advantage against any other class in the beta as far as PvP goes. But for PvE, in the beta portion, the Titan and the Warlock were definitely better than the Hunter. Now let me tell you right now, these videos are not organized. I do not have a set number of topics I'm going to talk about. I have nothing written down. This is not scripted. So if I talk about a certain topic more than once, multiple times, I probably forgot I even talked about it in another video, because these are not just being recorded like day in, day out where I have a fresh memory of it. It's segmented, okay? And I'm not going to rewatch my own video if I think it's okay. I do remember talking about Grimoire score in a past video. And I told you my Grimoire score is around 880. Well, I checked it again. You can check through your Bungie.net and you can look at all your characters, your stats and everything. I checked and my Grimoire score was 885. 885 before the beta ended. And that's pretty fucking high. Okay? Let me give you a frame of reference.
We're in.
Only 19
This was
people
one of Skywatch's
had higher
old array
Grimoire score than
stations.
me out
A
of
link to
everybody
the
that played the
mythology.
beta. That's fucking crazy, dude. That is fucking crazy. So I was basically top 20 Grimoire score in the beta. I had like almost no life. I
Dead
could
end.
have gotten higher
Unsealed this
if I
door.
explored more.
I can get it open.
Okay? I didn't explore it a lot compared to Strikes and Crucible. Okay? If I explored more, I guarantee you I would be higher up in the leaderboards. Okay? A way you can check this is if you go to DestinyTracker.com. DestinyTracker.com, somebody made a site that will pull the stats from the Bungie.net website, and it tracks them and puts them on a leaderboard for everybody to see. Cool little site, but remember it's a new site. There are some typos I've noticed, and it definitely needs a rework on the UI. Some of the things are not perfect, but it works. It definitely works, and you can update the stats whenever you want. So like if your stats say updated like 3 weeks ago, you can update it like right then, and it gives you a button to update it, and it will pull the information, the current information from the website, and it will show you your updated stats. It's a pretty cool website. You should probably go look at that and search my name. Right here, I'm just cleaning up my inventory in the menus. You can see me dismantling or basically getting rid of unwanted armor. Basically, that what does is it gives you glimmer and a couple of parts that you can use to upgrade higher level or higher tier weapons and armor. Now you can carry 9 or 10 actually, including the one that you have already equipped. You can have 10 items in each slot. Okay? And that includes your primary, your special, your heavy weapon, your head, your chest, your gauntlets, your boots, your ghost. You can have ghost skins, you have your sparrow, your ship, your freaking emblems, man. But I really don't get the emblems. Why did they give you only 10 emblems to choose from? That doesn't make any sense to me. But I don't know. It's up to them. You can't have everything, huh? What you see me doing here is I'm fighting the second race that we were able to fight in the beta, which is the Hive. Now there are 4 different types of Hive. You see the Acolytes are basically the guys that have their own little gun and they walk around. They're pretty easy to kill. And the Thralls that you saw earlier, they swarm you. Their main purpose is to swarm you. There will be like a bunch of them and they will just run at you. And you have to kill them pretty fast or use a grenade or use some sort of special weapon that will do some crowd control. Like right here, for example. There's just a bunch of them and I just kept freaking backing up because if you take them head on, you're gonna get slapped. For example, if you take on an enemy that has a lot of health that will not die within 2 melees, after the second melee they'll hit you, like they'll match your hit every single time, and eventually you will die if you can't kill them within 2 hits. Third type of enemy is the wizard, which is right past this door. It's like a flying creature. It's a flying creature that has an orange shield. Okay? Now for shields in the game, whatever shield color it is, for example, there's 3 different types of damage. Arc, solar, and void. Arc is blue, solar is orange, and void is purple. If it has a orange shield, you have to use solar damage or fire. So if you have a weapon that has the element of fire, then you need to use that because it will be more effective than any other element. And if you try to use a different element than what is supposed to be used, it will have a lesser effect. It will be like it's resisting your shots and it will do less damage than what it would normally should do. Now there's a lot of misinformation or misinterpretation of going around about the elements. Elements only matter if the enemy has a shield of some sort. No race has a certain affinity for different affinity or weaknesses towards certain elements. It's only the shield, and the shield is the only thing that you need to focus on when you're using elements.
We should probably
As
get
far
moving.
as the beta goes, that's how it is. There is no weakness for any race, for any element besides shields. And the shield color tells you what element you should be using against it. Okay? Very simple. Right here is another golden chest that I didn't get to because of the mission just ended right before I was able to pick it up. But I will show you, I'll have a different video that will explain all the locations of the golden chest so you can get them all when the game comes out and get your Sparrow and be ahead of the game. Okay? Now another thing, with the reward screen, you don't actually get your rewards unless you until you get to orbit. It will not pop up until you get to orbit. Okay? So if you have a full inventory and it's giving you a weapon that you cannot use, like, you have to dismantle a weapon in that activity screen in order for you to get that reward. And sometimes if you have more than 2 rewards, it's very rare. I've only had it happen to me once, and that's during the moon mission right before the beta ended. If you have more than 2 rewards, it won't only show 2. It won't show the third one. So you basically have no idea until you get to orbit, and it will show the items that you get on the right hand side of your screen, and it will pop up. Going back to the tower now, and a couple of things happen in this sequence, and I have to talk talk at an accelerated pace so I can get through everything that is shown, because in the game I just rip through it. Like, I just go straight through it and then I analyze it later, because it's the best way to go through it for me anyways. Now I'm in the tower right now. As you can see, there's nobody in the tower besides me. I'm completely alone in this space, which happens pretty often. They need to fix that, because if you have shit in the internet, you're probably going to be by yourself
This is close.
all the time. Also, if you have shitty internet, it will kick you. It will literally kick you out of the tower and explore mode. It's happened to me like a couple of times. I recommend using a direct line, a direct Ethernet cable plugged into the back of your PS4, because if you use Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi is kind of funky, okay? The Wi-Fi is pretty funky for the PS4, so it's kind of wonky and it fucks up and it's not really that reliable. So use a direct line, get everything out of your internet, because this is an online experience that is based heavily online, so you should definitely use a wired connection. Now, I was at the Cryptarch and I'm now at the Gunsmith. The Gunsmith basically has no weapons of use. No weapons. No weapons at all. You will find better weapons. As far as the beta goes, I didn't buy any weapons from the fucking Gunsmith because they were all useless. I already had better weapons, except for the Sidonia. The Sidonia is an auto rifle that is matched against the Shingen-C, which are basically the 2 best auto rifles, 2 best guns for PvP. I'll talk about that later. But you saw when I went to the Cryptarch, it decoded an engram for me, and it gave me a blue piece of armor. Okay? Armor is class specific. So if you get a piece of armor on your Warlock, you cannot put it on your Hunter, vice versa, same thing with the Titan. Okay? But let's just say you got an engram on your Hunter, but you don't want any, for example, let's say it's a type of boot, it's a boot engram. You don't want any extra boots on your Hunter, but you want it for your Titan. You can put it in your vault, switch to your Titan, then take your Titan, take out that engram from your vault, take it to the Cryptarch and let him decode it, and it will be a Titan boot. It's kind of cool. So if you want specific armor for specific classes, just switch over the engrams through the vault. But as far as the beta goes, there are no class specific weapons. So it doesn't matter where you decode them, as long as you have space, you can decode any weapon engram and use it across all 3 classes. Now, looking through the friends list, you can see everybody's stuff. So, like, if there were actually people in the tower area, you would see in the 3rd column all the people in the tower. In the middle is your friends list, and in the left column is your fire team, basically people that are in your group. And from that menu, you can inspect players, you can join players, you can basically see everything about the player through that menu. If they're on your friends list, if you can see their name, hover over it, you can see what gear they're using, what level, their backplate, their emblem, their grimoire score. You can invite them to your fire team if you have room. You can boot people from your fire team if you have the leader. You can promote other people to the leader in your fire team. All the basic necessities. Now I'm gonna go on a little rant right here. Beginning of this gameplay that I played with these people, it was okay. It was pretty good. They were farther ahead than I was, so I went into a mission that I did not know about. So if somebody can invite you to a mission that you have not played or have not unlocked, and you still be able to play with them. But back over to my little rant. Let me tell you right now, the people I was playing with fucking sucked. They were okay. It was okay at the beginning because I was basically doing. They were helping out a little bit, but we kept going into missions. Okay, if you go into a mission, you get 2 choices. As far as the beta goes, there was normal mode, and there was a second mode that was higher level, which would be labeled hard mode. Okay? And in hard mode, the level of the enemies are higher, so you'd have to be extra careful so you don't fucking die all the fucking time. Alright? The people I was playing with, and basically every other person I've played with, basically, it's high percentage. They do not know how to stay alive. It's something like when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and then the fucking noobs get left behind. It's something I complain about a lot, especially with you, Cyril, Steven, Stefan. Like, for example, when we play Gears and we play a decent team, you guys start sucking, and then I play the same. I play it like how I've always been playing, but you guys just start sucking horribly to a point where it's like you're having a bad game, but we need to win. That type of thing. Same thing in this game. I talk about it a lot. I just keep going. I know what to do. I stay alive. I do everything right, but everybody else just freaking keeps dying. They don't know how to stay alive. They do stupid stuff. They walk into a corner, crouch, and just fucking sit there. There's just a lot of things that make me mad about the people who play video games online. You know, you have to use your brain. Okay, you got to use cover, especially if the enemies are higher level than you. Obviously, they're gonna take you down in like 1-2 shots. You're gonna get fucking owned if you stay out in the open. And I eventually left this group because everybody kept fucking dying so much. I did not want to deal with it because it was just wasting time. Okay? Let me talk about the leveling. Leveling in this game, fastest way to level is to go through the story missions and the strikes. Do those. Okay? You do not level fast at all in the Crucible, and you don't get the best loot in the Crucible. You get your best items and your best weapons from Explore mode, the strikes, and basically the strikes. You get the best loot from the strikes, and you can get really good loot from the Cryptarch, but I haven't really... In the beta, I didn't really use the Cryptarch. I just did strikes over and over and over and over again. And the thing is, it doesn't get repetitive. Well, maybe for some people, but for me, it was fun every time. But the only thing that really annoyed me is the people that play the game, not the game itself. You understand what I'm saying? Now, fighting higher level enemies is obviously harder. You see, I'm fighting a captain that has a shield. There is no point, but for what I'm doing, I did not know this at this time, and I didn't notice until like the end of the beta. There is no point at all at firing at a shield at the person's head. If they have a shield and you don't have the specific element, it's better just to hit center of mass, because it will be an easier target than just hitting the head, because it will do you will have no headshot multiplier, no extra bonus damage if you hit somebody in the head and they have a shield on. So just shoot that center of mass. Once that shield goes down, you can shoot the head. This is different if you actually do have a weapon of the element. Now, if you do have a element that counteracts their shield, it is best to shoot the head, because it will go down like super fucking fast, and sometimes the bullets penetrate through the shield into the face. By penetrate, I don't mean they get actually hurt, their health bar goes down while the shield is still up. I'm talking about it will do so much damage to the shield that the extra damage will carry over to their health. And if it's a critical hit, it will be critical. If it's not, it won't do shit. So if you have an element that counteracts a certain enemy's shield, use that element and aim for the head. If you do not, or if nobody on your fire team does, just shoot center of mass, get the shield whittled down, and then shoot face for your critical hits. Best way. Now this video is probably super fucking long at this point, so I'm just gonna cut it off here, and you can watch the next one whenever I fucking feel like putting it up. Alright? Peace.